only served its time, but they have become a lawless bunch, a criminal bunch, and their actions are causing pain so severe that the people have no other obligation than to say to them, it's time for them to leave. I want to tell you, when you elect a government, you expect that government to be lawful. You expect that government to conduct the state of affairs in a way that will bring benefit to you and to the country. Every single decision taken by the Baldwin Spencer government is a decision that has led to further pain and hardship on the people of Antigua and Barbuda. I want to tell you tonight, as individuals get ready for Carnival, that Antigua and Barbuda is about to fall apart. All those features, all those programs, all the care you have gotten from the Labour government, they are all at risk. And tonight I just want to sensitize you to the fact that we have to move now. We can't wait until 2014 to force this government out of power. You would have heard that the Antigua Labour Party left $250 million in Social Security. Every month under the Labour Party, Social Security was able to bank $1 million. Well, I want to tell you that Social Security is totally broke, and the elders among us, those of you who depend on your pension, from month to month, they'll be bouncing your checks, they'll be paying you late, and your pension is no longer secure. I want to tell you something else, that Harold Lovell and the UPP party, having performed the worst in the world for 3 years, having bankrupt Antigua and Barbuda, having been given a program of last resort by the IMF, that they go to IMF crawling and begging for a waiver of conditions so they can get some money so they can pay salaries this month. Without the IMF money, this government cannot pay salaries. So we have Social Security bankrupt, we have the Treasury bankrupt. At Mount St. John's now, no diagnostic machine is working. If you have a sick at Mount St. John, they take them to All Saints Road for all their tests. They have no money to fix the machines. They're short of doctors. So when you're sick, you can't expect your government to provide the resources to protect life. And then you ask yourself, why did they go to Parliament and pass new tax measures? The people already can't buy food. The people already can't pay utility bills. The manager of APA says that 40% of Antiguan homes are in darkness. They can't pay their utility bills. Baldwin Spencer is turning out the lights on Antigua Barbuda. And then we have the brazenness. We have the barefacedness that Baldwin Spencer could take up our money and he could buy an oil rusty plant. He could go to a company that was formed after we got our money. A small company, a company which never built an engine in their lives. And he can proceed to turn his eye as $30 million was stolen from the people of Antigua and Barbuda. Now you would have heard about the money, and you would think that it's the only loss to Antigua and Barbuda. I want to tell you, the question of energy is central to the recovery of this economy. The question of energy is central to the creation of jobs in this economy. Antigua has the highest energy cost in the region. Antigua and Barbuda could have taken the money from China and they could have bought a wind generation plant and you would have had your utility bills cut by 3/4 overnight. APA now spends $15 million a month buying fuel alone. The income tax brings in less than $50 million. If we shift to renewable energy, just from the savings from oil, we can get 3 times the amount of money they're taxing you on your income and on your special benefits. So the Labour Party says we have the plans and proposals to ease the squeeze, to lift the burden, to reduce the cost of energy. We're not speaking out of turn. We know exactly what we're going to do. I want to tell you, manufacturing cannot happen in Antigua and Barbuda with a high cost of electricity. Manufacturing, tourism, agriculture, they are the 3 main sectors which produce jobs. And if you want jobs in Antigua, we have to revive the offshore sector. We have to bring back manufacturing. We have to expand agriculture. And we have to bring back tourism. Now you would have heard the Prime Minister say that the offshore sector, which the Antigua Labour Party built, is now extinct. We have over 175 young people losing their jobs, and all they have heard from their Prime Minister, you are working in an extinct sector. You would have seen that tourism this season, in the middle of tourism season, people are working 3 days. Well, I want to tell you, if you think the pain has reached its limit, Baldwin Spencer just went and sounded the death knell to the tourism sector. Baldwin Spencer went to Parliament and he introduced a new tax on airline travel of nearly $100. That tax, he says, is to pay for the airport. But his own budget says that the cost of the airport and cost of aviation is $10 million a year. And his own budget says the airport with the existing taxes generate $28 million of revenue every year. He has a surplus of $18 million to service any loans attached to the airport. Why then is Baldwin Spencer trying to raise $70 million from new taxes on the airport, pushing up the cost of travel? And he says, oh, it is only people who travel. But I want to tell you, John McGinley, Harold Lovell, and Baldwin Spencer, with other members of the CARICOM CT organization, we spent millions of dollars lobbying the British when they placed a tax on airline travel, and we argued it was going to destroy our tourism industry. Harold Lovell was chairman, John McGinley took over, and the study which they carried to England proved conclusively that an increase in airline taxes will cause negative growth of 5% in our economy. Their document, their study, they argued for 3 years with the British, and they have now turned around. And the very thing that they paid millions to lobby for, the very thing they paid millions to market against, they have now added on top of that $93 per passenger, which will double the level and the cost of living for tourists coming to Antigua. Now the study is very clear. When the British implemented their tax, Sandals had to pay the full tax and they had to discount their rooms by 40% to get visitors. Barrett did the same thing. In other words, workers in the tourism industry got less money because their points were different. They were working 3 days. Simply put, a tax on airline travel will wipe out the tourism sector because we will get less tourists. They will spend less money, and the hotels will have to lower their costs by over 40% even to attract visitors. Already we have seen a decline of 18% in the European market. Why am I telling you this? Under Baldwin Spencer, Market Street is dead. Under Baldwin Spencer, the offshore sector is dead. Under Baldwin Spencer, public servants can't get paid. And the last thing keeping us our nose above water, tourism. He has launched an attack on tourism with his mad tax policies that will make sure our next season will be a massive disaster. And if you think the pain you're feeling now is too much to bear, if we don't move, I will tell you, Antigua will be a hellhole come the summer and come the next winter season. The question begs itself, if you have a Prime Minister who has no good news, if you have a Prime Minister who can't tell everyone engine is all on you, if you have a Prime Minister who allows some little Chinese man to thief $30 million US, and rather than defend Antigua and Barbuda's money, he is now attacking the opposition party, saying we are unpatriotic. But I want to tell them, somebody must go to jail for this money. All the suffering and pain Antigua people feeling can't be for nothing. We have to make sure no other politician feel they can come to power, rip off the people, destroy the economy, and walk away in gold and sunshine with their millions. They escape from the vote of no confidence in Parliament, but they can run, but they can't hide because the people mind have already recognized that only a change of government will bring relief. Our history is very proud, a very proud history. The Labour Party, every time the nation is threatened, when VC Bird was faced down by Moody Stewart, when sugar became uneconomic and people were hungry, we had a hurricane in the 50s, we had a drought. He moved in and he said, the only thing can save these black people is to sell their passport and lands to white South Africa. And VC Bird told him he went to Bethesda, and he told him to down forward. Those black children, you say, who can't read and write, watch them in the next 2 generations. I will build schools throughout Antigua. I'll introduce tourism. I'll modernize this country. And these black children will become the leaders of a brand new nation. VC Bird didn't stop there. He said, I'm defeating you, I'm beating you. And he forced an election, and he wiped the slate clean. And then he drive Moody Stewart out of his house and move in. He drive Moody Stewart out of his house and he move in. He said, black Antiguans run this place. We ain't selling nothing to the white South African. Our children have brains. They will find ways of earning their keep. And did they not find ways? We had the 76ers who came and they expanded tourism. In 10 years, we had over 60 hotels built in this country. And when University of Weston said tourism was servitude, they said no. VC Bird said no. It's a competitive export. You guys will learn 10 years down the line what I'm talking about now. He went further. Lester Bird went further into services. He introduced the offshore sector. He introduced the financial sector. And Antigua boomed on the labor. Antigua boomed on the labor. And now they want to tell us, as Antiguans, we must accept this decadence. We must accept this poverty. We must accept this. We must accept this stealing. We must accept an engine which is clearly old. An engine where they can't produce one test result. An engine where they can't produce one iota of evidence of how the money was spent. Breaking all the facets of any kind of technical agreement for a power plant. They want you to accept that you must now say it's okay. But I live in Param, and let me tell you, 5 engines broke them in pieces. The engines are in pieces, and if Baldwin Spencer feels his man, he must take all our journalists up so they can see his 5 new engines. Like when they go buy parts, you can get parts off of them. The young engineer, who they had lying for them, they sent him to China to hide out. They freed him out by slip because somebody stole the money. They're now scrambling behind the scene. They're now scrambling behind the scene and say they want to make 3 million. And if they make 3 million, we must blame the Chinese for the rest of the money. But I said to them, even Antigua allow people to steal $30 million US, and they only get 3 million. They should go to jail 3 times over. They dance the first time, they dance the second time, they destroy Antigua the third time, and we are going to clean them out and run them out.